My family lied to me for 6 years, so I made sure everyone knew the truth. When I was 17, my mom died in a car accident. At least, that's what they told me. I remember the night like it was burned into my skull. The knock on the door, the flashing red lights bleeding into the living room, my dad standing there stunned. His shirt had blood on the sleeves, and I remember thinking, not crying, not panicking, just thinking, that's not her blood. Everything felt hollow, frozen. The funeral was small, closed casket. No one really talked about it, not the neighbors, not our extended family, not even my dad. He told me it was a rainy night, she hit the divider, there was nothing anyone could do. She was gone instantly, he said, just like that. And I didn't ask. I didn't want to ask. I was a kid, and my world had just collapsed. I didn't question the story because it felt too heavy to carry anything else. Life went on. Sort of. My dad remarried 2 years later. Her name was Carol. She moved in like someone unpacking furniture. Quiet, organized, cold. She never tried to play mom, and I never asked her to. We kept our distance, which suited both of us just fine. But there were always little cracks in the story. Like how no one ever mentioned my mom's name, ever, or how my dad never showed me pictures of the crash, never talked about the night it happened, or how Carol once flinched when I said my mom's name out loud, just once, casually, in the kitchen. Like I'd said something taboo. The weirdest part? I never visited the crash site. I never even knew where it happened. My dad just said, "It's too painful. Best to leave it alone." And so I did, for 6 years. I was 23 when the first thread unraveled. It was my college graduation. My mom's sister, Aunt Lydia, flew in from out of state. We hadn't seen each other since the funeral. After dinner, we sat outside on the porch while everyone else was inside laughing, and she asked me something that caught me completely off guard. She said, "Did you ever go see the crash site?" I told her no, that I didn't even know where it was, that Dad never talked about it. She paused, like a pause full of loaded silence. Then she said something that changed everything. "You know your mom didn't die in a crash, right?" I froze. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "That's what they told you? That she died in a car accident?" I just stared at her. "What do you mean?" She took a deep breath and said, "Your mom was planning to leave your father. She had already packed a bag." She went on to explain that my mom had been calling a divorce attorney in the weeks leading up to her death, that she'd told her sister she was afraid to be alone with my dad, that there had been incidents, but she never filed anything because she didn't want to break up the family. I felt like I was underwater. Everything sounded far away and muffled. Lydia said she requested the police report after the funeral, but my dad told the whole family to leave it alone, said it would only reopen wounds, but she had read it anyway. There was no mention of bad weather. There was mention of bruises, of yelling heard by neighbors, of a packed suitcase found in the trunk, of a 911 call from my mom's phone. 12 seconds long. She hung up before she could speak. And then, the crash. Labeled accidental. But everything else? It painted a different picture. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I confronted my dad. I asked him, "Was Mom planning to leave you when she died?" He didn't even try to act confused. He just looked tired. He said, "Don't let your aunt fill your head with nonsense. It was a tragic accident. You were too young to understand." But I wasn't a kid anymore. I requested the police report myself. As next of kin, I had the legal right. It took weeks to process. I checked the portal every single day, and when I finally got it, I couldn't breathe. Everything Lydia said was true, and more. There were photos, not released to the public, of bruises. 2 neighbors had reported hearing shouting from inside the house earlier that night. The 911 hang-up was logged, and my mom had left 3 voicemails with a friend saying she was scared, said she thought something was going to happen. The car had no mechanical issues. She had no alcohol in her system, no drugs, and yet she crashed going 60 into a concrete median. And one more thing. Carol, my stepmom, was listed in the file as a witness. They'd been seeing each other before my mom died. She testified that she had no involvement and that she believed the crash was suicide. She even told the police my mom had been unwell. The file wasn't a smoking gun, but it reeked of rot. My mom didn't die in a random accident. She died scared, trying to leave a man who had already moved on. And I lived 6 years of my life in the dark, mourning a version of her that wasn't even real. That's when I knew, if no one else was going to tell the truth, I would. I didn't scream. I didn't go public. I did something worse. I created a private website, Plain black background. Just text and documents. The police file, the voicemail transcripts, the witness statements, screenshots of emails and timelines, every piece laid out for anyone to see. No conclusions, just facts. Then I sent the link out like a ghost. To my cousins, to my mom's friends, to people from her church group, even to 2 of her old co-workers I found on Facebook. Just a simple message. I found something I think you deserve to know. That was it. No accusations, no hashtags, just the truth, curated and time-stamped. Within 48 hours, my dad's phone must have exploded. He emailed me, something vague about context and misunderstandings. I didn't respond. Carol deleted her Facebook account. A few people blocked me, but even more reached out quietly. Some said they always suspected. One of my mom's friends wrote, "Thank you. I've been waiting for someone to say it." And then, silence. It was done. I didn't feel triumphant. Just clean. Like I had finished something that was left open too long. My dad never apologized. He never denied it either. Last I heard, he retired early and moved out of state. Carol went with him. And me? I visit my mom's grave every year now. I bring flowers, sit down, and talk to her like she's still there. And before I leave, I whisper the same thing every time. They tried to bury the truth with you, but I dug it back up.